The
From
Europeans
Africa.
did not look for people smarter than they were. Okay? And to this day, where they find evidence where that might have been the case, you have people saying aliens did it.
100% agree. Oh, hey guys, you're going to join us in this reaction. Wait, this reaction will be something the Western media, mainstream media, and the corporate media will never tell you about being an African. Welcome to Tunacheki's Africa React. I'm Ekimushi, and this is a show where we go online and look at trending videos, viral videos concerning Africa, where we give you our honest reaction. Today's video is brought to you by Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of my favorite scientists, public figures, just personalities throughout the world. So here is with Joe Rogan in his podcast, and he's talking about, is actually teaching him about how great it is to be an African. And it's really important to react to this video and for Africans to understand how this scientist with 100% fact is telling the truth, okay? Before we continue, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and especially like, because it's the only way YouTube will recommend this video to more like-minded people like you. So let's watch the video.
Let me leave you with some thoughts here.
Okay, please do.
There's a section here on race and color, which is another thing with the variation of what we have in the world. Just a point I want to make. When European anthropologists started running through Africa and started describing what they saw, their urge was to say, everyone in Africa is this thing, and they have dark skin, woolly hair, and that is a thing. And they called it a race, and they called it the Negroes, okay? And this is our attempt to classify into few categories something that might actually, in real life, be on a spectrum. We know that the human species began in Africa. And everybody who populates everywhere else in the world came out of Africa to do that. What that tells you is that the genetic diversity within Africa as the origin of our species is greater than it is between any other two people anywhere else in the world. But because the anthropologists were not thinking genetic diversity, they're thinking skin color. They put them all in one bin. But if you have the most genetic diversity, then in practically every way humans vary, you would find the extreme of that in the African continent. Where would you find the tallest people in the world? Watusi tribe of Africa. How about the shortest people in the world?
Pygmies.
The Pygmies. Not even that far away.
Right.
Geographically. They have the same skin color, so the Europeans said these are one group of people, one race. Where might you find the slowest people in the world? Well, no one looks for them. Where would you find, there's no races to find the slowest people. How about the fastest people? Africa. Okay? People of African descent have dominated the long distance as well as the sprint, two completely different physical abilities. Oh, but they're all dark-skinned people, they're all Negroes. Okay? Where would you likely find the dumbest person in the world? Africa. How about the smartest person in the world? Africa.
How about the Egyptians?
The
From
Europeans did not look for people smarter than they were. Okay? And to this day, where they find evidence where that might have been the case, you have people saying aliens did it. Egypt is, of course, in Africa.
Yeah.
A brilliant civilization. Oh my gosh. While Europeans were still either disemboweling heretics or whatever the hell they were doing, it was even before that, thousands of years ago. So my point is, if you don't look for it and you don't find it and you're going to create a map of humans of the world, you're going to put yourself at the top. That's what you're going to do.
All of it's ridiculous.
My only point is, when you have that mindset and you have to put yourself at the top and all people with dark skin are one entity, you're not looking for people smarter than you. You're not. There's other evidence here. Do you realize that the people who get the highest scores on standardized tests in England are people, immigrants from the Igbo tribe in Nigeria. And their kids outscore all the quote native white people in the town. If you're not looking for them, you're not finding them. It just doesn't. It's a thing. It's all here in this chapter, and all I'm doing is bringing science to it. That's all I'm doing here.
That's a perfect place to end it. All he's saying is I'm bringing science into it, right? So in the past, these anthropologists, these white anthropologists, these white scientists tried to use science to mix in their racist ideas and their racist ideology to further suppress Africa's greatness, to further use Africa, to further exploit Africa. But now, because all this information is in the public domain, it is clear as day what is just said. Africans have the most genetic diversity, and it's just a probability thing. So most likely the fastest person to ever exist is and will be always African. The smartest person to ever exist on this planet is and will always be African. Not because like Africa is a big, better race, master race. No, it's just basic genetics and probability. So what he's saying is that Africa is great and will always be great and was always great, right? This notion that goes through corporate media, Western media, the mainstream media, that Africa is a third world country, even presidents, writers, scientists tried to say Africans were dumb during that time while they were doing all their best not to educate Africans. Then, and the last bit where he says in the UK, where the best performing students are actually like Nigerians. So this is what you Africans need to know. If this world was a level playing field, right now it's not a level playing field in any way, sort, shape or form, right? It's not the white privilege, white supremacy is ruling this world and it's trying to suppress African greatness. So the point I was saying, if Africa was put on a level playing field, all African countries, the continent was put on a level playing field with the rest of the world, we will be better than them, we will prosper, we will be richer, we will be more productive, we will invent more things, right? So the current situation right now, which is just the past 500 to 600 years, is manufactured by the West, is manufactured by white supremacy, that they're putting Africa down on purpose. And this is the time where we have to get out of that little bubble in history. It's a tiny bubble in history. It's so minuscule. It's not even 1% of the greatness of Africa history, right? It's not even 1% just of Egyptian history. This current point in time that we've been suppressed by the West and to make us not be as great as we ought to be, right? So Neil deGrasse Tyson, the astrophysicist, one of the smartest person on the planet. I know this guy. He speaks facts. He speaks knowledge, right? You know, knowledge and facts cannot be denied. You can go in the comments, all those racists trying to, we invented your phone that you're using. Yeah, all that is just mathematics. You're using mathematics that was stolen from Africans. So, with that said, this has been our honest reaction to this beautiful video. I would suggest you go watch the full podcast and hear what he has to say. I would suggest you buy his book. We'll put the descriptions below where he talks about this information, right? Where he debunks all these things that white scientists have been trying to, these false things white scientists have been trying to brainwash Africans and the world about Africans. So make sure to educate yourself. And I always say education is elevation. And thank you for watching. This has been a quick reaction. As always, we always appreciate you guys watching, subscribing, liking. It's very important. Thank you to our members. Thank you to our Patreons. We always appreciate you guys. And we always remember, Africa is watching.